actually, about the term meditation and how we relate to it, basically. Probably the terminology was there for a long, long time, but nevertheless, now how we sort of utilize that term and to connect with what one is talking about, what Buddha was talking about, one could say. So to connect that, I think it's a bit of a challenge. Yeah. There are two ways to go about it, I think. One is by learning what Buddha had suggested in the form of philosophy, I think. Of course, that came later in time when great beings like Nagarjuna and Asanga and Vasubandhu came into being. So they really sort of took the time to describe what Buddha was saying during his lifetime. Although he lived a very, very long life, nevertheless, even when you live that long in a human span of 100 years, one could say, you can only express so much, you know. So therefore Buddha had to really sort of, in his entire lifetime, summarize as much as possible and to yet expressing everything. And so therefore he had to really sort of teach in a form where everything is almost, not really to say encrypted, but somehow using the language at the time that existed to really, it's in its full ability. And that's what the Sanskrit and Pali, that kind of language holds that kind of ability, I think, that in one word you could summarize so many things. Yeah, and it's not an encryption at the same time, you know. And therefore, later on, before Buddha's passing, he already predicted that later, after so many years, then someone will come to explain more about this subject and that subject. And accordingly, then all the great Mahasiddhas or Mahabodhisattvas came. Yeah, like if you think that of Nagarjuna, he was both relatable as Mahasiddha as well as Mahabodhisattva. Yeah. So then they basically describe the philosophy. Yeah, because to our human mind, philosophy is kind of important, you know. It's an important part of life. Without the philosophy, we feel a little handicapped actually sometimes. And so therefore then those great Bodhisattvas actually explained the Buddha Dharma that Buddha has taught in forms of philosophies. Yeah. In various formats. Actually, the sound is good.
I think so too. It's a nice sound.
It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, that's much. Thank you. So it's the sound of nature in a way, you know. And so it's that philosophy that was taught. And so now, as I said, there are two approaches. Yes, one is through the philosophy, because we associate ourselves with philosophy. So therefore, going through that direction, then we touch some core aspects of the Buddha Dharma, particularly in this case, meditation. So that's one way. The other way is just